Hello and welcome. My name is Lynn Allen Sion. I'm with the Orange County Chamber, and I want to welcome you to today's edition of Meet the Member. We're thrilled to be able to have as our um, interviewee Marcel Martino, who's the CEO and president of Inspire. So, Marcel, welcome. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
being here. And
Good
I just want
afternoon.
to, yes, thank you so much. Marcel is also the chair of our board. So, Marcel, thank you for all the time that you spend with the chamber. We really appreciate it. And
Sure.
before we start with questions for you, I just want to remind people that we're anticipating that next Tuesday will be the reopening for phase two. We've been in phase one so far, and that's construction and manufacturing, curbside retail, some engineering, and agriculture. And we're anticipating, if all goes well, and unless the governor opens us earlier, but we are anticipating that next Tuesday we will be open for phase two, which includes office, hair salons, barbers, and a little additional retail and some other services. Dentists are now open statewide. If you do need PPE and you need it quickly, the county is donating PPE on Saturday from 12 to 2 at the County Government Center and a number of other sites. Those sites are on our Facebook page. You can go and look at that. So especially if you are a salon or a barber and you're short of PPE for the reopening next week, please visit our Facebook page and you'll see all the other locations. That's just a little PPE to kind of get you through. If you're looking for longer term PPE in large quantities, please contact us at info@orangeny.com. We're proud to partner with Orange County government, and we're able to get you a number of pieces of PPE, surgical masks, N95, hand sanitizer, and the like at discount prices. And you can just email us at info@orangeny.com. We'll get those catalogs out to you. So thank you for that short little commercial there, Marcel. And so now we're gonna talk about Inspire. Inspire's been in Goshen for, oh my gosh, decades and decades. I believe this is your 70th anniversary this year.
That's right. That's right. We've been around since 1950,
Wow.
and we're very happy to be in Goshen, but we are throughout the county in some different areas. One of our main programs is a preschool for children with developmental disabilities. Obviously, we have a lot of children with autism, but we have our main site in Goshen, but we have actually three sites in Newburgh and one in Monroe. So we service about 250 children throughout the county. We also have contracts with Ulster and Sullivan County. And we get a few kids from there, not many, just some of the parents prefer to come to us. So that's been one of our mainstays in programming. Um, the other thing that we do is we have a disabilities program. So what happens with that is we have ComHab, where we have staff that goes out to families' homes, and they help the families, they help the children, they give them a bit of respite, and that's still been functioning even through this COVID-19 issue. We still have people still want us to come out. We do not have residents like some other agencies, so we don't have that. That's a difficult thing to deal with. A lot of my colleagues have that, and it's hard to deal with folks that are in residences. But we've been functioning pretty well. We do have some clinical services right now over at Fletcher Street in Goshen. So we've been the staff has been great. We've been handling this. What happens with the schools? So obviously we're working remotely. So we have the teachers and the aides and the therapists are all providing remote teaching and remote services. And I've actually sat in on a couple of calls like that they allowed me. And the parents really like it, and the kids love it. Kids love it. So we're trying the best we can. And it looks like this. We do have a summer session, and we're told we can do that remotely. So we'll be doing that also. I'm hoping by September that we'll be able to get back on site. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for us because think about it. If you're a school-age child, you can kind of figure out distance and spread them apart. It's a little tough when you're talking about 3 to 5 year olds, and they don't really listen too well. So that'll be a challenge for us of how we can do that. But we're working on plans to go forward with that. Um, and we also have a day hab program, which we was suspended by the state. What day hab is we have vans that will take young adults out around the county to experience different activities and so forth. That was suspended, so we have not been able to do that during this pandemic. However, we're hoping at some point soon we can start that up again. We may again have to be careful how we do it. Maybe we usually take anywhere from 4 to 6 people in vans. We may have to have less to start out, but
Sure.
we're hoping we can do that because I think, they're missing it as much as we're all wanting to get out. They want to get out to be able to do that also. So those are our main programs that we have. What we have also done during this pandemic is we actually opened up a food pantry at our Goshen site.
Mm-hmm.
And we specifically help the families that we serve. And it's been, believe it or not, there's a lot of families that we've helped and they really need help. So it's continuing. I know there are a lot of other food pantries or programs that are helping out, but we specifically are working to help our families. So it's been a real good. We have a foundation and they donated some money towards us. Some of our board members and other people have supported that, and we have been purchasing food, and either we deliver it or they come pick it up. So that's been a nice service. We actually have a relationship. I'm sure if you've heard of Popcorners, which is
Mm-hmm.
a
They're
potato
members.
chip. Yeah. So for some reason, they've kind of adopted us, and
Oh,
they, I got a call from them about 2 weeks ago, and they said, "Could you use some of our products?" I said, "Absolutely." I said, "Give us as much as you want." They delivered 240 boxes full of
boxes?
popcorns. Boxes,
Wow!
5 pallets.
They're so
So
generous. They are so
they,
generous. That's
they are.
wonderful.
They've been great. So, we give it out to the families, we get it out to the staff and so forth. So that was a nice surprise that we got. They've been great. So, so
Wonderful.
that's where we are with a lot of things right now. It's been a little difficult. The teachers are doing remote, and actually the therapy. Believe it or not, we have some therapists that are doing physical therapy remotely.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can't do too extensive, but they've been able to do that. I mean, the key is we're trying not to let the kids and the people lose too much by not having the programs in person. So this will help. It's not perfect, but it certainly keeps people engaged, which is what we're trying to do. We also have at our Goshen site in Fletcher Street, Cornerstone has some programs there. They had to close down their dental center and audiology, but I understand the audiology is now open, and I understand the dental will also be opening pretty soon in that site. So I'm sure the community will appreciate that.
So it must be very important. You had mentioned about how some of the therapists are doing things remotely, and I would think it's also good for especially the kids, because it maintains their relationship with the therapist. Because in a clinical setting, it's really important to have that relationship where there's a trust. Um,
Absolutely. Yes.
so, but I can't imagine, especially for the children in the school, how disruptive that is for them, because they're so used to having that routine and being around people, but also having that constant therapy and education and the services provided. So it's great that they're still able to do some remote. It's been very disruptive,
Right.
for so many people. For us, we work remote, we're an office, so it doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect our members the way it would affect your students over there. So you just have the preschool there. You don't have anything that goes beyond early intervention or preschool, correct?
No, we don't. We used to have early intervention. We do not have any more, and we haven't gone beyond preschool. So it's up to age 5.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned you have physical therapy, and I'm guessing when you reopen, you'll have the occupational therapy. You have occupational therapy and other therapies.
All the therapies, PT, occupational therapy, speech therapy, psychology, social work. Yeah, they primarily take care of the kids in the school. So they will all. I mean, they're all kind of functioning right now remotely, but I'm sure we can't wait to get back physically to work with the kids and the families. It's going to be tough on the families because if they're stuck at home,
Mhm.
I'm sure they're happy to get something for the kids, but it puts a little pressure on them also.
Oh,
So
sure.
you know,
Absolutely.
and now we're concerned this summer. If some of them start to go back to work, if they're not working, it's going to be a little tougher for them to do for the kids if there's no one home. So it's a challenge for everybody. It really is, but we're
And
doing the best we can.
Yeah, you're doing an amazing job because the situation is very difficult. I mean, the word unprecedented has been used so many times that it's almost been like a cliche, but
Right,
it really is unprecedented. I mean, this is a historic pandemic. The entire state was closed down.
right.
Um, so what are you looking like for summer? You had mentioned summer camp. Is there a chance of summer camp? How is that? How is that looking? Because the
Well,
governor is opening different things every day, and then he goes back and he changes it. But right now, at this moment in time, what does it look like?
the summer camp that we usually do is in August, so we're keeping our fingers crossed that things will be at a point where we can open it, because I'm sure the parents would love that, to have
Sure.
that opportunity, and we would love to see the kids. So, we're just biding our time. We're hoping as the governor continues to open the state slowly, that by August that will be something we can engage in and help the kids and help the families. It's unknown right now.
Right. Okay. Well, so much is unknown right now. So one of the things that we speak to our members about, because with the reopening, it's providing a safe environment for themselves and their staff and their consumers, but also making sure that the consumers know some of the things that are being put into place. Can you speak a little bit about some of the safety precautions that you're putting into place so people
Sure.
know that you're, really on, and I know that you are. I know you guys are really on top of it, but I
Right.
think that the community would appreciate hearing it.
Well, during this whole pandemic situation, our custodial staff have been working. So they have been constantly cleaning. What we did is we closed our Newburgh school sites, our Monroe site, because, but we still have some staff in the Goshen site. So those have been, they've sanitized those, they've cleaned those. So we don't let anybody go back in there. And they're constantly looking. Now we have our disabilities office. So they're always, we have a staff that cleans there. And now that dental from Cornerstone is going to open, we're going to make sure that that is totally, it's been clean, but we're going to do it again to make sure that everything is fine. And, these guys have been working hard. They're constantly,
Mhm.
you know, cleaning things, making sure we move things out of the way that shouldn't be there and so forth. And then we have a plan. There's a plan as the state has required as how do we open up. So we're in the process of putting that together. And the staff, I have to say, the staff has been great. I meet with my team, which is my executive team, 3, 4, 5 times a week. With our management, we at least once a week, and I'm always getting reports back what they're doing, and they're also, given the concerns we have, so enthusiastic of doing the right thing for everybody to help themselves. They're trying to help themselves, so it's a challenge, but I got to give them credit. They're all doing a great job. They
Well,
really are.
leadership flows from the top. So, so they have a great CEO and president leading the way. So I'm
Right.
sure they are as appreciative of you as you are of them, because it is a tough time. It's a really, really tough time. And really everybody just wants their customers and their consumers and anybody who comes through to be safe. And we're all, navigating this very choppy waters right now because we don't know from one day to another. So aside from the pandemic and reopening, because you're human services and because you provide clinical services, that's always an interesting thing in New York State.
Oh
So,
yeah.
is there anything that people who are listening should be cognizant of? Things that we need to be aware of, if that we can do to help, because you folks provide amazing services, and just as in the interest of full disclosure, Inspire, as you know, Marcel, is the first one who hired me when I first moved up here from Brooklyn
Right.
34 years ago. So, Inspire has a special place in my heart, and I've seen how human services have changed over the course of years with the ADA and just all of those wonderful rights programs. But there's also the funding aspect of it, and it's the
Yeah.
way that you are able to continue. So, is there anything that we all need to know to do to help? Because you provide amazing services for so many people throughout the county.
Well, like everybody else in other agencies, especially nonprofits, we have our challenges. And I hate to say it, the challenges with the state of New York. I know they're having their own difficulty. Certainly, they were looking at a deficit before this came, and now they're looking at a larger deficit. And unfortunately, if the federal government does not provide funding, which they really have to the states and the local governments, it's going to be a disaster because right now, trying to work with the state, we don't know what kind of funding they're going to be able to provide going forward. That's hard to plan for.
Sure.
I know there's a lot of businesses that are struggling, that haven't gotten any money. We've been somewhat fortunate that we've been able to get some funding up to date with them. But what I'm concerned about, what we're hearing, is if New York does not get funding from the feds, there's going to be major cuts. That's going to really put us in trouble. It could financially really hurt us very badly. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and I know that the governor will try to do the best he can, but we don't get a lot of good information. I hate to say that. From there's different agencies. There's OPWDD, which is our disability services. There's state education, and they're very maybe they don't know themselves, but they're not giving a lot of good information to the agency, so we can figure out where to go with this. We're all under austerity budgets at this point, so we're trying the best we can. And as you know, and everybody knows, we can't really do any fundraising right now because we had so many events planned for the year. We had our a bowling tournament we had to cancel. We have our golf tournament, which I don't think will come off in July. So that's probably not going to go. And then we have another event in September. So we're not sure what's going to happen. And it's a tough time for anybody, even people who want to donate. I know it's not easy because they may not be working. But if there's any support that they can give us, we appreciate that. So the challenge is really with the state of New York, and they have their challenges, and their challenges, unfortunately, will impact us. So that's the concern.
And say, for instance, somebody does want to donate, where would they send that? Can they just, can they call you? Can they go to the website to donate?
They can contact the website. Our Mindy Ciselli is our community relations director, and
Wonderful.
she will handle that. Lynn knows her well. She's great, and she'll be happy to help you out with a donation at any time.
And I'm just looking as we're speaking, the live comments are coming in, and you have a lot of fans out there. There's a number of people who are saying how, we love Inspire. It was our children went there. It was life changing. There's somebody's going to home services. So it's, you've really reached a lot of people, Marcel. The
Well,
the agency, your staff has done an amazing job with what's going on with kids. And also I do want to let everybody know that you've been a great champion and a great and everybody in Inspire, a true champion and an advocate for people with disabilities and for the ability for everybody to have an equal shot at life and an equal shot at a job. And I think we just lost Marcel. There he is. You're back. We lost you there for a minute.
all right, I'm
But
sorry. Somebody's trying to call me. You know,
oh,
it, you know,
but
yeah,
thank you
yeah.
for that.
What's great, Lynn, is that I'm out in the community a lot, as you know, and I run into people all the time that had their child at our preschool, and I have to tell you, 9 times out of 10, they just can't say enough about, and their child is whatever they had. I love going into the schools when we could. I think I lost you again.
Oh, you keep talking. We can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what I did. I did something. Um, so when I'm out in the community,
Marcel? Well, it is 2:20, and I think we lost Marcel. I know the weather is a little iffy, so it may be from the internet, maybe a little glitchy over there. But it is 2:20, and we keep these at 20 minutes. If you want to contact Inspire, I'm going to ask Nicole if you could pop the number up. But there he is. You're back. You can contact Inspire at 294-8807. And they'll be more than happy to help you if you need services, if you need to reach out for any of the programs that they have, or also if you want to donate. It is a really rough time for service providers now, and we don't know if it's going to get any easier. Marcel, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you wanted to close with?
No, I appreciate. There's been a lot of support from the community. I really appreciate that. I've been around Orange County for a long time, been at Inspire for almost 14 years now. And we have a tremendous amount of support from people, have an excellent staff, a great board, and we're all working together to continue to make things right for the people and the children and adults that we serve. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your support.
And I just want to make a correction. Rita just wrote in and says we made a mistake. It is there. It is. It's up on the screen. So it's 8806. And Marcel, thank you so very much for joining us today. I know that you're really, really busy, so I very much appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to speak to the community. And thank you for all
Thank you.
you do for everybody and for the businesses and the Orange County Chamber of Commerce. Be
My
safe.
pleasure. Take care. See you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye. So everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. This is being recorded, so it'll be on our Facebook page. Please feel free to share it if you know anybody who needs services from Inspire or would be interested in that, and even donating. As Marcel said, it's a rough time for human service agencies right now, and they do an amazing job. There's so many people that they have helped. So have a wonderful day, Orange County. Stay safe. Don't forget to wear your mask. And if you need the PPE to reopen next week, please visit our website at www.orangeny.com or our Facebook page. And we have all of the information on there. Be safe. Have a great rest of the day.